So far we have studied a kind of logic circuitry which is known as combinational logic circuit. And it is a kind of logic circuit in which the output is dependent on, or output is function on only on the presently applied input or present inputs. In no way the output is dependent on the past output. Okay. So just to make this circuit sequential, or when we can say this circuit to be sequential, if somehow we evolve a mechanism to put this output value, one or more than one outputs are kept in some memory, and they are then fed to the, as and when it is required, they are fed to the input. Okay. If we form this type of circuitry, then we say that this circuit is sequential circuit. This circuit is sequential circuit, meaning thereby the output of this sequential circuit is function of present input as well as previous outputs, or past output you can say, or past states. So we say the output of this sequential circuit as next state. The output of this sequential circuit is not called, is not designated as a general output, but it is known as next state. Okay. So next state is function of the present applied input as well as the present state. Okay. So in fact you are looking that the memory is an integrated part of this sequential circuit. Memory is an integrated part of sequential circuit. This memory may be a byte memory, maybe a kilobyte memory, or whatever is the size of this memory, but the smallest unit of digital memory is binary bit. If we know how to store and how to retrieve a binary bit, then we can form a higher size of memory. Okay. So just to store and retrieve a binary bit, what we do, we take one of the logical block from universal logic gate. This logical block may be NAND gate or may be NOR gate. You see, this is two NOR gates, gate number 1 and gate number 2, and we form this circuit like output of this NOR gate number 2 is coupled with one of the input of NOR gate number 1, and output of NOR gate number 1 is coupled with the one of the input of NOR gate number 2. So you are looking that the output is also fed back to the input. Okay. Present state, the output that is presently available is known as present state. Present state is making a role to decide the next state. Okay. This is playing a role to decide the next state. Okay. So if I say randomly, if I say this input to R and this input to S, these two outputs are known as Q and Q bar, where Q and Q bar happens to be complementary of each other. Okay. Now, if you thoroughly see the truth table of NOR gate, 2 input NOR gate, suppose the inputs are A, B and output is Y, A, B and output is Y. So, these are the possible combinations of input. What happen if input is 0, 0, output is 1? What happen if input is 0, 1, output is 0? In this situation, 0. In this situation, 0. What this truth table suggests to us that if one of the input of this NOR gate is 1, then whatever occurs at other input, what maximum can occur? Maximum 0 can occur or 1 can occur. Okay. Nothing except 0 and 1 can occur. This Y is always equal to what? 0. If one input is 1, if one of the input is 1, then we are not needed to observe what other input is. The output will always be equal to 0. And this beauty of NOR gate is utilized while forming the input-output behavior of this latch. Okay. Now you see, suppose if we apply 0 as an input over here and 1 as an input over here, what will happen? If 0 is applied at gate number 1, then we are not bounded to see what is coming from here. Something will come from here, something that has already been latched. Our previous memory state of this latch was there. This will be feeded over here. This may be a 1 or may be a 0. It is not a matter of discussion. This will always be equal to, this one. I am making an opposite discussion. This one will be decisive. This input will be decisive because this one will make the decision. Okay. So, what input is coming from this output of gate number 1? It is needless to see this input. This output will be equal to 0. As and when we apply 1 over here, we will get 0 at the output of this. Something will come at the input of gate number 2, and this something will be either 0 or 1. One of them will definitely come. But whatever is coming, it is not our matter. This output will be equal to 0. And this 0 is feeded back to the input of gate number 1. And this 0 and this 0 is making it to be equal to 1. Okay. So, if we are applying S to be equal to 1 and R to be equal to 0, what we are getting? Q to be equal to 1 and Q bar to be equal to 0. Okay. Getting my point? And you see, this thing is further coming back to this input, and this thing is further going back to this input. Is it going to make any change? No. Okay. So, this state of 1 0 is stable now. This is stable output now. Now, suppose if after this we withdraw our input, and withdrawing our input means we are simply putting S equal to 0 and R equal to 0. We are simply withdrawing our applied input, means 0 1 which has been applied, it has been withdrawn, and what we are applying? We are applying nothing. Nothing means 0 0, 0 0. So, what will happen? What will happen? 0 0 means wherever there is 1 coming from some side, maybe it is from output side, this is going to make decision, and this 1 will make it 0, and this 0 and 0 will make it 1. So, 1 0 which was latched because of this input condition will remain latched. It will remain latched. This means this circuit has memorized what has been given to it in our previous input application. Okay. So, the output in this situation will also be equal to Q equal to 1 and Q bar equal to 0. Getting my point? Okay. So, this is acting like a latch, like a mechanical latch, Now, suppose if I apply S to be equal to 0 and R to be equal to 1. If I apply input this way, S to be equal to S to be equal to 0 and R to be equal to 1. And previously this was the output, no harm. No harm if this was the memorized condition of this latch. What will happen? You see, 1 is going to make decision. This 1 is going to make decision. And what will happen to the output of this? Okay, this will be 0. Maybe 0 is coming over here, maybe 1 is coming over here. This is not going to alter this output. Why? Because if 1 is available here, it will make it 0. It will make this transition of this previous 1 to 0. And now 0 is available at the output. Now 0 is available at the output. Earlier it was 1, okay. But from 1, it will make a transition and it will become 0. And 0 has been applied over here. Okay, now this 0 is coming over here, making this transition from 0 to 1. And now this 1 state will be stable. Okay, 1 will be overwritten over 0. Okay, and this 1 is going back, no harm, and making it further 0. This means this 0, 1 output has been stabilized, has been memorized. So this Q will be equal to 0 and Q bar will be equal to 1. Okay, getting my point? Now if we further withdraw the input, means we make S to be 0 and R to be equal to 0, you see what will happen? And what have been latched or what have been memorized in this output of this latch is 0, 1. Okay, and we are now applying 0, 0. Okay, so wherever there is 1 available, that 1 is going to make decision. Okay, this 1 and this 0 is making it 0, and this 0 and this 0 is making it 1. So it was 0, it will remain 0. It was 1, it will remain 1. Okay, so this Q will be equal to 0 and Q bar equal to 1. So output is not changing even after input has been withdrawn. Okay, so this is acting like a real latch. This is acting like a real latch, and it is this way. It is forming a 1-bit memory. It is forming a 1-bit memory. So which input we have applied at S and R? You see, if we form this to a 2-input logical circuitry, which is having input S and R and 2 output Q and Q bar, what are the various output that we have applied? S equal to 0 and R equal to 1. What output we are observing? 0, 1. Okay, if we are applying 1, 0, we are observing 1, 0. Okay, and if we are applying 0, 0, 0, 0, in that situation, what we are getting? We are getting previous output latched. We are getting only previous output. This means we are getting no change in the output, and no change is designated this way. Okay, what has been latched in the because of the previous input, that remains there, and that's why we write it to no change. In some books it is written like memory. Okay, in some books it is written like previous output. So no change, memory or previous output, they are the synonym of same thing, same phenomena. Okay, now one thing is left, one input condition is left, 1, 1. You see what will happen if we apply 1, 1. Okay, if we apply 1, 1 at both the inputs, okay, this is naturally going to give us 0, 0, and this is the condition that I have told you earlier. Okay, this is not going to give you a real sense of a latch. Okay, But you see what will happen if we apply S to be equal to 1 and R to be equal to 1. What is obtained at the Q is 0 and what is obtained at the Q bar is 0. But immediately after this, if we withdraw the input, means we apply S equal to 0 and R equal to 0. What should be there according to this 0, 0 input? This should not change. This Q and Q bar should not change. But what will happen? What will happen if we apply this S to be equal to 0 and this R to be equal to 0? Okay. And this was 0, 0. Okay. What will happen? After 1, 1 we are applying 0, 0. What will happen? 0 and 0 will make it 1, it is making it 1, and 1 is further feeded back over here, and this 1, 0 is making it 0. So what will come over here? At Q it is 1 and at Q bar it is 0. But if you do the analysis other way, if you do the analysis from this point, okay, you are getting confused at some point or you are clear? 0, 0 is making it 1, 1 is coming over here, okay, it is making it 0. But you see 0, 0, if I analyze it through this way, 0, 0 is making it 1 and this 0 is coming over here and making it 0. So which one will be 1 and which one will be 0? Q will be 1 or Q bar will be 1? It is not decided. It is decided by the propagation delay of this gate number 1 and 2. Okay. Either of the gate will be faster and other will be lower. So the gate that is faster will make its output 1 and the gate which is slower will make its output 0. So it is not predictable which will be 1 and which will be 0. So this way this output is called invalid output. This output is called invalid output, and this condition is avoided for any latch. Okay, getting what I wish to say? This was all the analysis of the, sometimes in some books this is called truth table of SR flip-flop, but it should not be called as truth table, because truth table term is always used for the combinational logic circuit. It is characteristic table. It is characteristic table of SR flip-flop. Okay. In some other form also I will make this characteristic table, but this is one form of the characteristic table of SR flip-flop. Made up of what? Made up of NOR gate. You may also make the same SR latch. This is not flip-flop, rather. This is latch. SR latch. SR latch made up of NAND gate. Okay. Now the things may become simpler for you because you have analyzed one of the circuit. I am simply making a simple modification in this circuit. I am connecting two additional inverters in the circuit like this. Okay, this is gate number 1, gate number 2 of the circuit. This is gate number 3 and gate number 4 of the circuit. This may be called as gate number 3 and gate number 4 of the circuit. This input I am saying to be S, and this input I am saying to be R. This output as Q and this output as Q bar. Okay. Now you see what I apply, what I'll apply and what will occur over here. But before going into detail of this, I should make one thing clear about this circuit, about the earlier circuit which was made by NOR gate. Why we say this input to S and this input to R? Basically, this S stands for set and R stands for reset. When I am asking this memory or this latch to set itself, to set its original output, and this is the complemented output. When I am saying this output to set, I have to apply 1 at the set input. Okay. When I am asking this circuit to reset, I am applying 1 at the reset input. And when this circuit is resetted, 1 is applied at reset input. Okay. So this way, this circuit may either set or reset. Set is stored, means 1 is stored, or reset is stored. And for setting and resetting, we have to apply accordingly input at the S and R inputs. Okay. That's why this latch is called set reset latch. Set reset latch. Clear? Now, in a similar fashion, if I say this input to S and this input to R and this output to Q and Q bar, and if we look which logical gate we are going to use is NAND gate. If you look at the property of this two input NAND gate, A, B is the input and Y is the output, A, B is the input, Y is the output. What NAND gate says for various combination of inputs, if we apply 0, 0, output is 1. If we apply 0, 1, 1. If we apply 1, 0, 1. And on 1, 1 it is 0. So what is clear, what is being very clear to us from this truth table, that if 0 is applied at any one of its input, then it is needless to see what is coming at the other input. The output will always be equal to 1. So here decision making input is 0. There in NOR gate the decision making input was 1. We see where 1 is coming and then we finally decide the output of that NOR gate. Here we will see where 0 is coming and we will decide the output of that NAND gate, and because of those combinations we can propagate further in our circuit analysis. Okay. So you see what are the various possible input combinations that we can apply. Suppose if S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 1. Okay. If S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 1, you see what will happen. 0 over here means 1 over here. 1 over here means 0 over here. Who is going to make decision? 0. 0. This 0 will make it definitely a 1. Whatever previous output condition that is coming back from Q to the input number 2, it is not going to make any change in this output 1. And this 1 and this applied 1 is making it 0. Okay. So Q becomes 0 and Q bar becomes 1. Okay. Now after this, suppose if we withdraw the input, and withdrawing the input is equivalent to making it 0, 0. Okay. So if we make S to be equal to 0 and R to be equal to 0, You see what will happen? S is 0 and R is 0 means 1 is here and 1 is here. And what was there, because of the previous change, we have to see that, and among that change, who is going to make any decision for the output? 0. So this 0 and 1 is making it 1, and this 1 and this 1 is making it 0. Means if there was q was 0 and q bar was 1, it will remain in that same position. It is not going to change. Okay. Now if you apply another input, say S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 0. S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 0. I am writing it by a different color pen, because now the things are okay. S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 0, and this 1 will make it 0 and this 0 will make it 1. Who is going to make output change? This 0, and this will make this 0 as 1, and now this 1 is feeded back and this 1 is applied over here, and this is making it 0. So q becomes 1 and q bar becomes 0. Suppose if after this we withdraw the input, means S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 0, what will happen? S is 0 and R is equal to 0 means 1 will come over here, and naturally no one of them are capable enough to make any decision for the output. We have to look for what is coming at the other input, and suppose if 0 is coming from here, so this is making it 1 and 1 and 1 is making it 0. This means q is equal to 1 and q bar is equal to 0. Okay. So we can now write down the conditions for 3 input situations. If S is 0, R is 1, this is 0, this is 1. If S is 1, R is 0, this is 1, this is 0. Okay. And if this is 0, 0, there was no change in the output. But we have to observe what will happen for 1, 1. Okay. So if we apply 1, 1 over here, naturally 0, 0 will come over here, and this 0, 0 will make both the outputs 1, 1, which is itself a valid situation for output to become complementary. But you see what will happen if we withdraw the input after this. You see what will happen if we withdraw the input after this. This means we have made S is equal to 1, R is equal to 1. What happened? Q become 1 and q bar become 1, no problem. But if S after this we are making 0, R after this we are making 0, what will happen? Either of them will become 1 and other will become 0. Maybe this become 1 and this become 0. Maybe this become 0, maybe this become 1. This is not that we can comment definitely that which one will become 0 and which one will become 1. So this is not a valid situation for a latch. A memory should be memory. What has been given to it, it should be memorized to it. It should always remain that situation. Okay, it should always retain that situation. So if we apply 1, 1, then it produces a invalid situation to the output. Okay. So these are the different input output situations for SR latch made up of NAND gate. Okay. Now if we form suppose if we look the same circuitry from a different point of view, now I will simply identify the SR latch through this block. Now I will not bother whether it is NAND circuitry inside this block or NOR circuitry inside this block. I am simply saying this input to be S, this input to be R, and I am taking only one output because other output is complementary of this. This is not needed to see what is there at the other output. Okay. So if I am saying this present output to be equal to T, then the output that is becoming after the application of the input and after the application of this present output to the input is known as next state. This is present state, this is next state. So how many inputs are there in this circuit? If you look thoroughly, there are 3 inputs, S, R and QT. This is a kind of circuit in which we are taking 3 inputs, S, R and QT, and what output we are getting is QT plus 1. Okay. So suppose if S was 0, R was 0 and QT was 0. Okay. Naturally this QT bar will be equal to 1. It is not needed to see this. If S was 0, R was 0, QT was 0, what will happen to QT plus 1? This means at the next moment, what will be there at this QT plus 1? This will be 0 because this is no change situation. This is a no change situation. Suppose if S was 0, R was 0 and QT was 1. What will happen to the QT plus 1? This will be 1. Because this was 1 and there will be no change in the output. So it will remain 1. Okay. Getting my point? If this S was 0 and R was 1 and QT was 0. QT was 0. So what will happen to the next state of this QT? This will remain 0 because we are asking the circuit to become reset. And when the circuit will become reset, the normal output will be equal to 0. Okay. Suppose if this was 0, this was 1, input is 0, 1 and this was 1. What will happen to the output? This will become 0. Getting my point? This will become 0. If it was 1 before the application of this 0, 1, naturally a transition will occur from 1 to 0 and this output will become 0. This is what I am writing over here. Okay. Now if suppose this was applied input was 1, 0 and the present state was 0, then what will happen? This will become 1. If applied input was 1, 0 and the present state was 1, this will become 1. Okay. If the applied input is 1, 1, 1, 1 and the present state is 0, what will happen at the output is not determined. This is not determined. So it is this. Okay. Invalid. Maybe 0 occur at this output, maybe 1 occur at this output. Okay. If the applied input is 1, 1 and the present state was 1, still the output is undetermined or invalid. This is invalid. Now you are visualizing this circuit as 3 input 1 output circuitry. So can you make K-map for this? Can you make a K-map for this circuitry? Okay. You can very easily make a K-map. You can take this S input at one side and R and QT input at other. Okay. So this will be S bar S, R bar QT bar, R bar QT, R QT and R QT bar. Am I right? This is the way we can write the output. Now, where are the min terms? 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Am I right? Now, where there are 1? At min term number 1, min term number 4, 5 and 6 and 7 is don't care. Now we can apply the K-map minimization technique. So what is resulted because of this? S is coming out of this grouping, okay, and what is coming out of this grouping? R bar Qt, okay, and what we are going to make this design for Qt plus 1. So Qt plus 1 is equal to S plus Qt plus 1 is equal to S plus R bar Qt. Okay. This table is called, in fact, this table is called characteristic table for SR flip-flop. Characteristic table for SR flip-flop, and this equation is called characteristic equation. Characteristic equation for SR flip-flop. Getting my point? In the next lecture, we will discuss the D flip-flop. First, we will discuss SR latch, means we will realize the same SR latch using clock circuitry. Then we will say it to be flip-flop. There will be a controlling from clock side also. Then D flip-flop, then other flip-flops like JK flip-flop, T flip-flops. Okay.